Hey there, guys. It's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. I am so excited. I'm so excited to be here today. I'm going to share with you today the 7 giant rules, I believe, of running a great business, the business of your dreams. I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist, business, and life coach. I got started in my company about 16, almost 17 years ago. I simply made the decision to go to work as myself. And I decided that I could take my ideas, my background, and my gifts and package my know-how into my own business. I just didn't know how to do that. I kept looking for someone to help me, and I went to a small business resource center in my town, and I was told by the director of the small business resource center that my idea, mom coaching, didn't make any sense, that no one would pay me to do what I do today. I tell you this because maybe you're like me and you think outside of the box, okay? And you see things that aren't there, right? In terms of your dream, your vision. You just know you are meant to honor that calling on your life, and you just need some support. That was me. And I kept looking for someone to help me. And I ended up bumping into an amazing coach who was doing what I wanted to do. I didn't even know if that's what I wanted to do. I went to a live event and I was sold. And what I was sold on was lifestyle. She was the first example of someone that I saw building a business where she was a full-time entrepreneur working from the comfort of her home. And I knew that that's the kind of business that I wanted to grow. Fast forward. I've coached thousands of women literally all around the world, from the comfort of my home. And as a result of growing a business on my own terms, hey there, darling, as a result of growing that business from the comfort of my home, I've had the opportunity to be the kind of mom that I've wanted to be to my 3 children, the 15, 18, and 22. I've had the opportunity to be available to them emotionally and financially. I've had the opportunity equally to be there for my husband. Been married for almost 25 years. This December will be 25 years. But I've had the opportunity to be there for my husband as well, because I built a business that gave me time, freedom. And equally, I would say that one of the greatest things to me that I desired in running a company was I just couldn't see myself working for someone else 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I just didn't see that for me. And maybe that's you too. I just knew I was too smart for that. There had to be another way for me. And I'm so excited to be able to say that not only have I been able to get myself free, but I've supported many of my clients equally with doing the same. And more importantly, today I help women package their know-how into high-ticket offerings, both on and offline. They use their education, their background, their skills, talent. And whether it's a hard skill, like something you're doing at work, or a soft skill, like motherhood. Like when I started as a mom coach. And I want you to know that your expertise counts, properly packaged. And it's just an honor to support women who really, really want it. Now, today, I'm going to teach really simply. You're going to want to get a notepad out for this. And really simply on what are the 7 giant rules for building a business, right? The business of your dreams. Okay. And I'm gonna lay this all out. Now, I will say this, that if your feelings get hurt easily, this would likely not be the training for you. Okay. Because what I'm going to share, I've got just 8 points here. What I'm going to share, I'm going to go all in on it. And I know that it will resonate with you because it is flat the truth. Okay. So if you're ready, I'm ready. If you're ready, I want you to write, I'm ready, Mia. Okay. And you may have to type your name here so I can see your name. Kali, I see you say, hey, Mia, you're looking forward to the giant experience. So I'm excited for those of you who are watching this live for the first time, this coming on the 15th, we're opening the doors for the Giant Experience virtual retreat. I've never hosted the event ever this way. So you get access to 25 hours of training. The sooner you register, the more time you get to watch the training, and then the actual live event runs from the 22nd through the 28th. So I'm so excited. Kali, I'm going to tell you, it's going to change your life. Hi, Michelle. I'm so excited. Brenton is ready. Michelle's ready. Is anyone else ready? I do think you have to be ready in order to receive. Erica's ready. Awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So I'm going to get started. And you guys make sure you have your notebooks out, okay? Because I'm going to go all in on this. I wanted to do this training tonight on what are the 7 giant rules to build the business of your dreams, because most of the women that follow me are desiring to build a solid business that will replace their current income and that will give them time freedom. So I'm assuming that if you're watching me, those are the things that you want, all right? That you want to build a solid business based on your knowledge, your background, your gifts, your talents, and you want to figure out how to do that from the comfort of your home, okay? And you want to be in control of your time. Right? You don't want to cap on your income. You want to figure out ways to generate income passively. And I want for you what I have. And that's why I wanted to do this live today, because I want you to have this. All right. 100%. So there are 8 things I'm going to share. Number 1, are you ready? Are you ready? Number 1, the first thing I want you to keep in mind is that you need to build your business for you first. Okay. This is going to sound radical. You need to build your business for you first. And I'll tell you what I mean. There's so many women that I speak with, my team spoken to over the years, and they're talented, they're smart, they have a purpose and calling on their life. They have the ability to create amazing results for others. Hey there, Audra. And yet, when it's time to grow their business, they shrink. They say things like, I'm building my business for my children, or I'm building my business for my parents, or I'm building my business for, to create a legacy, right? I'm building my business for my community. And I want you to hear me on this, but I want you to understand this. Unless you make that decision to build that business for you, and you've got a strong why, likely that is the reason why you have stopped and started over the years. I'm going to go all in on this. I told you that I would, because so many women align with the wrong why. And they cannot figure out why they're inconsistent. Why one minute you're real excited about running a business, and the next minute, you're doing something completely different, and you've forgotten, that why, that spark, that fire has just died. If that's you and you're brave enough to say that's me, post it here, right? But I hear this all the time. And I want you to understand that you've got to build that business for you first, okay? When you build the business for the right why, when things get hard, you've built it for the right why for yourself, right? When things become great, it's easy to run a business, but running a business isn't just about running a business during the good times. Sometimes you've got to learn things that you don't know. Sometimes you've got to overcome yourself, your own mindset, your own self-talk, limiting beliefs. Sometimes you've got to stand in bigger shoes in order for you to get the results that you desire. And I will tell you, if you have the wrong why, all right, often what it looks like, hey there, CJ, what it looks like is that you become inconsistent around taking the actions that are necessary to change your life, to change your business. Now, this is what I had to do. For me, I knew I couldn't work for 40 years, okay, for anyone, not one person, okay, not one company. There was no way I could do it. And I had to get me free, okay? So my goal was to get Mia free, hashtag free Mia. You might have to have your own hashtag free Shannon or Brenton or Michelle, right? Or Audra. Maybe you focusing on your why, the thing you must have. See, what I knew for sure was that whether or not I decided to do what I needed to do in my business, that my children were going to still go to private school, that my children were still going to have, 3 square meals, and they were going to have a beautiful home. I knew they'd have that, okay? Whether or not I worked in corporate America or whether or not I was an entrepreneur. But the one thing that I had to do was ensure that I could get me free, okay? And it was something that I thought about all the time. It was a deep desire inside of my heart and in my mind, and maybe that's you. Like, imagine that some of you are thinking every single day when you have to get up to go to work, there's got to be more for me. And yet, because you've aligned with the wrong why and you've bypassed your why, you're not motivated enough to do what you've got to do to overcome what you've got to overcome in order for you to build the business of your dreams. And I'm just talking to you, okay? Because like I said, I've coached thousands, literally thousands of women, and I've seen everything, literally. I've supported hundreds of my clients have written books. I've personally coached about 210 clients with writing books, building out curriculum at the highest level. I know what it takes for you to overcome yourself to do the work. You can do the work. You're already creating the results for others. But a lot of times you're already doing it in the workplace, right? You're already doing it. Like people calling you up and saying you've changed their life with whatever it is that you know how to do. But the problem is that you haven't done this for yourself, okay? Or you've aligned with the wrong why. So because you're like, I'm doing it for my kids, and your children, whether or not you're successful or not, are going to be okay. It's the wrong reason. And the wrong reason will never motivate you during the times when things become difficult. I'm just breaking this down. Jasmine writes, this is why we make sense. The only person I've worked with for 2 years is myself, right? Like literally, okay? Shannon says, this is good. Driving home an hour ago, I said to myself that my mom and daughter were my why, right? Like, I'm telling you, like, I've heard this over and over again. I told you guys, I'm just going to come to you with truth today. And I've got 8 reasons today that I know are really going to shake your shoulders. But I hope that at the end of this, you won't just hear this live and say, you know, this inspired me, this empowered me, but you'll take an action that can change your life. Okay. Wow. That is so me. Why haven't I done it? This for me. Absolutely. Number 2, the second giant rule, if you want to build a business of your dream, is if you can't say yes to yourself, the answer will always be no. I'm going to go all in on this, and this is going to step on some toes here, okay? Now, if you can't say yes to yourself, the answer is always going to be no, all right? Okay? It's always going to be no. So if you're the woman, okay, there are a couple types of women, okay? And some of us are codependent in how we say yes or when we can say yes, all right? So if you're the kind of woman, you know you need change, you know you need coaching, you know you need training, you know you're ready to go back to school, you know you want to go get that law degree or whatever it is that you want to do in your life and your world to move yourself forward. But you cannot say yes to you without surveying someone else, okay? Surveying a girlfriend, surveying your parents, surveying your spouse. And more importantly, many of us need permission in order for us to move through, you know, and until the next step, right? In order for us to say, okay, I'm going to do this, we need to ask someone else, can I say yes to myself? And I want you to understand that if you can't figure out why you aren't where you want to be, it is because if you cannot say yes, the answer is always going to be no. If I told my husband that I want to lose weight, okay, and I want to hire a personal trainer, but what does he think? He's thinking, this is what he's thinking. Are you going to work out with this trainer? What does this have to do with him? It doesn't have anything to do with him. I'm the one that has to do the work. If I know, conversely, if I know I'm going to do the work, hear me on this. If you know you're going to do the work, what are you asking anybody else permission for? And I don't understand where so many women, they're so smart, they're so sharp, and have all the capacity in the world, and yet we give away our power to grow to other people. We say, you know, can my seed have water? Is it okay? Can you tell me how much water it can have? You know, is it okay to put plant food here? Are you kidding me? All right. You got to understand that the only reason you ask is because you want to know. Because when you think about it, the things that you've decided you wanted, okay, when you decide and you move in the direction of what you want, you're not asking for permission. Now, there might be somebody here listening now that says, you know, you're going to maybe go all in on me, or maybe go real spiritual on me and talk to me about marriage and a relationship and not being transparent. I've been married for 25 years. I want you to know that I am completely, my husband and I are completely on board with our goals and our finances. but I do not ask my husband permission before I can take a class, before I can work with a trainer, a coach. And this is before my business grew. I mean, I knew what I needed to do. And I knew that if I wanted to be of value to them in 100%, in ways 110%, I need to grow who I was 110%. And so many of us are asking permission because we really want someone to say, not right now. We don't have the money for this. We can't move forward, because just think about the things we're going to do with the deck next year. Just think about the vacations that we're going to take. This is about you, okay? This is about you. And I told you I was going to step on somebody's toes because a lot of times when we are speaking with women who say, I want to advance my life, we don't advance our life because we're codependent. We're codependent on a man for income, or we're codependent on our jobs for income. And because of that, we cannot say yes. And when you can't say yes, the answer is no. Okay? The moment that you decide that that's what you want, and you're in partnership with people who are looking to support you, your dreams and your vision, they will say to you, I fully support you, and then you get to say how you're going to step up. Hear me on this, how you're going to step up your game and not ask someone to write a check for you that you wouldn't write for yourself. All right. I'm just breaking this down. Somebody writes, so true. Stop surveying others and asking for permission. Think for yourself and execute. You'll be a happier person. And Nangi says, absolutely. Michelle says, this is good. I wanted to break this down because this is one of those things where, often women will speak with us and they're like, man, I know I want to change my life. And they have all the capacity in the world to do it, but they don't have the ability to say yes to themselves. And they almost always, they've set up systems in their lives where when they get to a place where they have to decide, when they have to grow, they put that growth in the hands of another person. Okay, because they need to take a survey to decide, is it time for me to move forward? And I just want you to understand this. If we're talking about building a business of your dream, the business of your dreams, and you can't say yes, you can't decide, okay, then we're not talking about building a business of your dream. Because see, growing a great business requires you to be the leader, okay, of your life. Okay, it requires you to be a decision maker, okay, within that company. All right. And it's so important. I hope that this is supporting you. I hope that you are getting value, because it's one of those things that I hear women say all the time, and my heart sinks. My husband came to one of my events about 3 years ago, and he spoke with the women. And he said, if Mia had asked me, whether or not she should have done coaching, I would have told her no, right? I would have told her not to coach with her coach. But she didn't ask for permission. She said, I've got to do this, right? And she was so excited. And then she worked the plan. And then I became excited with her because I began to change my life. And when you change your own life, you can change the lives of others. There's so many women who are with men. Hear me respectfully. They were with men, and these guys aren't growing. The guy you're with, you love him to pieces, but he's not growing. And you have decided to ask someone who isn't personally growing, okay, whether or not you should grow. I'm breaking this down. I told you that it was going to be a tough live today, but I'm just breaking this down because when I went to my husband and said to him, babe, this is what I got to do. This is going to change my life. You remember when Pat was saying that? Okay. The fact of the matter is when I decided I was going to change my life, I changed my family's life. My husband developed kidney disease about 8-9 years ago, went on dialysis, got a kidney transplant about 6 years ago. Thank God I invested in myself. Thank God I invested in myself. Thank God I built an amazing business from the comfort of my home. I could be a blessing to my family. And thank God I could be woman enough to take a stand for changing my life. So for those of you who have been following me, if you can't take a stand for what you want, I'm probably not for you. Because I'm going to tell you that's what it's going to take. Number three, the 7 giant rule for building a business of your dreams is number 3. Do you have a healthy relationship with investment? Yeah. Yeah, I said that. Okay. Yeah. Do you have a healthy relationship with investing in yourself? Okay. Let me ask you again. Do you, it's a yes or no, it's a yes or no answer. Okay. Do you have, do I have you crying? Okay. Do you have a healthy relationship with investing in yourself? Okay. So if I said right now, name three, name three of the highest level investments that you have made to change your life. If you're trying to figure out right now why you are in the same place year after year, and you tell me right now, if I say, have you invested $0 to $2,000 in yourself, each and every year? Have you invested $2,000? You guys post here what you've invested, $2,000 to $5,000 in yourself each and every year or multiple times. Have you invested $5,000 to $10,000? Post your investments right here. $5,000 to $10,000 each and every year. Have you invested $10,000 or to $15,000 in yourself each and every year? Have you invested $15,000 to $30,000 in yourself each and every year or more? Okay, I could go on and on. And I want you to understand right now, the sum of the success that you are seeing is based on how you're investing in yourself. If you do not like where you are right now, if you look at the results that you're creating in your life, in your business, in your world, and you can say for sure, you know what, I'm not making the investments that are necessary. If you've invested 2,000, if you are where you want to be, great, Shayla, congratulations, by the way. And you where you want to be, great. But if 2,000 didn't get you to where you want to be, you need to invest more. Michelle, if you invested $500 and you're not where you want to be, then clearly $500 isn't enough. And I say this to you because when I got started in my business, I did not know, okay, what the investments were going to require of me. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself, hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself. Why? Because I wanted to change my life. When I got started, did I have the money? No, I didn't. I had to find the money. And you have to decide that you're worth finding the money, okay? As Shayna, $4,000, awesome. Did $4,000 create the yield that you want? Because if not, you have to keep making the investments in yourself so that you grow and get to where you want to be. When I got started in my business, I made low investments in myself, but within 3 to 6 months, I started investing $2,500, then $5,000, then $10,000, then $30,000, then $50,000, then $75,000, and it went on and on and on and on and on. Why am I telling you this? I'm saying life, a great business, requires investments. And this idea that you're gonna, invest, a couple $100s and expect your life to be transformed is ridiculous. Okay, you got to think about it. Do you like where you are right now? And if you don't like where you are, look at what you're investing to grow and change your life. If you're this person that you have this mindset of a $97 fix to change your life, you'll get $97 advice. Okay. And more importantly, you'll get a $97 mindset, which is even more detrimental than the $97 business advice. I can tell you that for sure. All right. So I just want to break this down. I hope that this is supporting you guys. Are you getting value or are you getting value? Brinson, awesome. If you're not where you want to be at $5,000 to $7,000, you need to keep investing in yourself. Keep investing in yourself so that you can grow. Number 4, 7 giant rules for building your dream business. Number 4, you got to understand that boundaries, hear me on this, boundaries are an essential part of self-care. You can take this, as my son, my youngest would say, to the bank. Boundaries are an essential part of self-care. And the only people that don't want you to have boundaries are people who benefit because you don't have any. So never apologize for having boundaries in your life and in your business, because you've got to understand this. When people respect you, okay, they will respect your boundaries. All right. Now, you cannot not ever be upset when people extend over the boundary line, because it's your responsibility to set and reset healthy boundaries, because it is a part of great self-care. And why am I telling you this? I'm saying for those of you who are moms who are like, man, I'm trying to work and I don't have, my kids aren't respecting my space, or my husband's not honoring the fact that I'm running a business and company or taking me seriously, and you allow that to go on and on, you know what? You can just pick your jacks up and work, shut your door, put a sign on your door, and set a boundary around what that looks like. When I first got started, hey there, Melody. When I first got started my business, my office did not have a door. Okay, so that's a little problematic, right? And my children were pretty young when I got started in my company. My oldest is now 22, so he was like 6, and my daughter was 3, and I was pregnant with my youngest. And, so I had this office in the center of my home, which was right off the kitchen, right? Which I loved, but I didn't have any doors, right? Didn't have any doors. So people could just run in and out of my office. And I started talking to my children. Hey, Nikita and T, I started talking to my children about the invisible door. Mm-hmm. That's right. And my husband, the invisible door. It almost became a game, okay? That they began, whenever they were kids going to dart in my office and I was working, they would say to me, a mom, and they would like knock, but there's nothing there, right? Because it was just, there was no wall, there was no door, there was nothing, okay? And I said, excuse me, may I come in? What I had to do was create a boundary for myself so that they understood mom is working right now. Okay, I'm working right now. And I think sometimes when we work from home, for those of you who are moms who are working from home, running your companies from home, sometimes it's really difficult because that line gets blurred, right? Gets blurred where, you're working and sometimes, and then your mom, and sometimes we don't always get the respect that sometimes even our spouses get because we might cover them in a different way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. And if that's not your situation, you don't have to chime in. But if it is, I'm talking directly to you. All right. What I had to do was carve out the boundary for myself. And that was putting myself on the calendar. So my family knew that 90 minutes every single week, I was going to go and spend some time with myself. That was my me time. My kids have grown up, right? Grown up watching their mom care for herself, just like she cared for them. And the same way that I take great care of them, and that's a priority, is the same way that I take great care of me, and that's a priority. And I wanted them to understand that they both are important. So for those of you who think it's, I'll take care and consider my own needs when they get older, I want to tell you that it's the most selfish thing you could do for your children. For your children not to grow up with a mom who they get to know who you are, what you love, what you like, because you haven't taken the time to explore those things, because you won't be courageous for you and set a boundary so your kids get to see you grow. Okay. It's a disservice to your family, in my opinion. I told you today, I'm just coming to you guys with truth. And I hope that there's something that I say to you today that allows you to step into your life differently, to look at it differently. Sometimes we don't have the models and the examples of women in our lives who have said, you know what? You need some time for yourself. All right. You pursuing your dreams and your goals is what's going to allow you to feel secure about your life. Okay. You want to add value to your family, add value to yourself. Okay. You want to have great adult conversation. Okay. With your spouse. How about growing yourself as an adult? So many women want people their spouses, their partners, people they're dating, we want people to validate our needs because we haven't validated our own. I am just breaking this down. All right. I'm talking about today the 7 giant rules for building a business, an amazing business. And it's something I know a lot about. My wish for you is that the way that I get to structure my business, the way I've built my business from the comfort of my home, the way that I generate income passively without hype, without having to, fake anything. It's just my life. It's my wish for you. All right. And these are the things that I've done. Just to quickly recap. Number 1, I suggest that you build your business for yourself first. Okay. And when you do, okay, your family will be the benefactors first. They'll be the first benefactors. How do you add value to your family if you can't figure out what motivates you to grow you? Number 2, if you can't say yes to yourself, the answer will always be no. So if you're that woman that has to go out to come in, you know what? The answer is no. All right. You want to run a business, you can't say, yes, you're ready to make an investment in yourself. Come on. All right. Let's get real. Number 3, do you have a healthy relationship with investing in yourself? Or do you just sprinkle, you're that $100 investor, that $300 investor, okay, but you don't know about investing in yourself at a high level, but you desire high level results. I want you to hear that again. You want a high level result, but you won't invest in yourself at a high level. Just asking you, all right? Number 4, and boundaries are an essential part of self-care. And you've got to know that people who don't want you to have boundaries or who do not respect boundaries benefit as a result of you not having them. And it's fact. You can take that to the bank. All right. I just want to break that down. Number 5, okay, you establish and seal your own value. So this notion around you not charging what you're worth, you being on discount forever, doing things for free is your decision. Hanging out with a bunch of friends, your accountability partners, your networking group, your social club where you guys think you're doing business, and you're doing each other a disservice, because if you are in the room with people who are not motivating you to stand in your own value, it is the wrong group. I do not care how much you like them. I do not care how much they make you laugh. But if you aren't where you want to be and they are not where they need to be, they are the wrong accountability group for you. It's fact. All right. And I want you to understand that you establish and seal your own value. And the reason that people align with people who don't do what they need to do is because it makes you feel better. You need to get around people that create that tug and that pull inside of you. You need to be around people who are selling and you're like not selling and you're like, man, I want to do it, right? Because you learn from people who are doing more in your life. This idea or notion of being attracted to this person because you like them, great. Go have coffee with them, right? Like go have coffee with them, but don't talk business with people who are not where you want to be. And I am telling you that every single time I've ever grown my business in my life, I've always paid to be around top-notch people. It's a value I have. I will invest again and again and again in the coaching communities that I'm a part of because of the caliber of the people that I have the opportunity to meet. And they're not all the same. All right. So if you don't understand that, I will tell you, and your goal is to build a business of your dream. You got to understand your network is your net worth. You guys are quiet on this, but I'm going to break it down anyway, because maybe you've got that friend and you talk to them all the time and you just love them. You love them who they are, but you're not growing. They're not growing. You're not selling. They're not selling. It's the wrong networking experience for you. I will tell you, this is the truth. You can take it. Number 6. Number 6 is integrity matters. Okay, integrity matters. 7 giant rules to build the business of your dream. See, a lot of times people think that when you build a business, that you can build a business being fake, being a fraud, being a phony, right? Or being a creative duplicator. But I want you to understand this, okay? The fact of the matter is, when you do those things, can you create success? Yes. People do it every day. But what happens to you as a result of not standing in integrity is that it makes you insecure. See, the price is way too high. The cost is way too great on your soul, on your mindset, on your beliefs about your own skills and talents. So it's the reason why, and I teach my clients to be authentic, be who you are, stand in your own value, speak your truth, talk about what you know. You don't have to fake being a success. You already are. There is something that you do right now more amazing than any other being in the world. You were designed for a purpose. There's a calling that's unique and distinct to your journey, your path, your pain. You got to understand that matters. All right. And the moment that you believe that you need to be a version of anything or anyone else, okay, you lose the power that is inside of you. I'm telling you, the people that you're meant to reach. When I tell you the number of women that have come to work with me because their husbands were on dialysis, if I didn't talk about my story, if I didn't share what that journey was, those women would never come. See, I understand that when I decided that I wanted to be a mom coach and there were none, the mom strategist, nobody knew what that was. I just knew it was a calling on my life. Okay. And I wasn't looking for approval. See, because when you have a calling on your life, you don't need an approval. You've already been told exactly what to do. But the challenge is that when you won't do it because you think you're supposed to do what someone else is going to do, and you can't understand why when you get up in the morning, why that doesn't excite you, why you don't have a roadmap of what to say or what to do. It's very difficult to do that being someone else. All right. Be yourself. Okay, be yourself and understand that, I've seen it over the years. I call it creative duplication. Anything that's fake, you don't have to prop up anything. You don't have to pretend to be anyone. You as you you're enough. You are absolutely enough. There's someone that can relate to your story and your journey. All right. And I just want you to understand that it's really, 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 really powerful. So important. All right. Number 7. Oh, this is so good. Number 7. Hey, Andrea. Number 7. What does self-made mean? Right. And what it doesn't mean. So I'm getting ready to break this down. And I know that some of you aren't going to agree, and that's perfectly fine. This is my opinion, okay? My opinion, all right? But what does it mean to be self-made? And it's a phrase that I often say. I understand that God has orchestrated my path. There's no doubt about that. I'm not having a spiritual conversation with you right now, okay? But I want you to understand what self-made is. Now, when you hear someone, we've heard tons of I have a lot of coaches, teachers, trainers who will say they are self-made. All right. And before I got wisdom, I didn't have understanding about what that really meant. So I thought it was someone talking about their ego as if in their world, what they did, that there was no one that helped them and that they were not spiritually aligned. That's not the conversation. That's a small conversation. So I'm going to break this down for you so that you understand that it's a blessing to be self-made. All right. And what it really means is that in your life and in your world, and I relate to this wholeheartedly. I get very emotional about it. I think about it. When I first got started in my company and I decided I'm going to be the mom strategist, I don't have one word, not one module. I don't have anything written down. I just have a vision and a calling on my life. Okay. And I trusted myself enough to be myself. And I walk in the direction of that calling. And soon things began to unfold for me. Opportunities. I get signed to an Emmy nominated, nationally syndicated television show as the mom strategist to coach a family over the course of a weekend. I get signed to another Emmy nominated and nationally syndicated show as the mom strategist, as a segment host, as a result of being the mom strategist. I get signed with multiple corporate companies, including Panera Bread, Great Harvest Bread Company, Corner Bakery Cafe, and the Marriott Corporation as the mom strategist. All right. This is the girl that didn't have one word written down. Okay. I just had a vision and an authentic calling on my life, and I walked in that direction. Okay. Now, I will tell you every single word that I wrote. Okay. Every single word that I wrote it. Okay. I came with the idea. Like I gave the mom strategist life and purpose, and it created impact for women around the world. And yes, it was self-made. I came up with that. Now, does that mean that when I say self-made that I don't honor that I'm a child of God? No. I told you, I'm not having a spiritual conversation with those of you who feel like that if every other word you're not acknowledging God, that means that you use those words, that in some way you're diminishing the spiritual gift on your life. I want you to understand, I'm certain of whose I am. But that vision was self-made. It wasn't a roadmap that was laid out. It wasn't a McDonald's franchise that I followed. There was no manual. There was no book of what to do or how to do it. I created it. I made it. Okay. And I want you to know that there's a tremendous honor and a calling and a blessing in your life when you can make the things you see in your mind eye, when you can see those things forward. Are you guys following me on this? Okay. That's what self-made means. And so for those of you who don't see self-made as an honor, you're missing out on the point. Okay, you're missing the point. And I think that sometimes people become so focused on the thing that doesn't matter that the thing that does matter, that can change your life, you miss it. You miss it because you're like, I just don't like when people say self-made. Well, guess what? You try not saying self-made. Okay, and you know what I mean? Then you go through somebody else's process. Okay, I'm just saying, you go through somebody else's process. You wait on them. Okay, because somebody's made something for the first time. When I think of self-made, you know what I think of? I think of Ray Kroc. If it's a McDonald's franchise, he self-made. He created this whole burger system, right? Ray Kroc, he created it. Okay, if I think of any of the giants in the industry, we're talking about building a business of your dreams. And when you're building a business of your dream, you are aligning your vision, your purpose, and your packages to support that very thing to create impact. All right. And yes, ma'am, you are making that. It is called self-made. And there are very few people in the world that ever have the distinguished honor of being able to put those two words together. And I pray that that is you. We're talking today about building a business of your dreams, right? And the 7 giant habits. Number 8. Oh, this is good. And number 8 is you need to value your seed. Okay. And that's all around being teachable and coachable. All right. Being teachable. You gotta be coachable. You gotta be teachable, coachable. You know, there are lots of people who have access to all kinds of amazing trainers, coaches, right? Mentorship classes. And you know, they open the book, right? But they don't read it. Okay. You know, they know what to do in the formula. They just forgot step 4 and 5, and they can't figure out why they didn't get the same result. But one of the things you've got to understand is that when you plant that seed, you need to value that seed. And that seed needs to be watered. Okay. Seed needs some sunshine. And then not one time does it need sunshine, probably frequently, probably water frequently, right? Like daily. And so this idea of visiting your seed, okay, you know, instead of understanding that you have a responsibility to care for it. And, you know, I've always seen and experienced my coaching relationships this way. It is an honor for me to be in relationship with people who grow me, who are smarter than me, who have created greater impact than me, that teach me what I'm doing right, that teach me what I'm doing wrong. I value that seed. Okay. I water that seed. It's my responsibility to maintain a relationship with my seed. Okay. And we all have things that grow us in our world, but we don't always water it. And I see it all the time. I've been with the same coach for over 16 years. I think a lot of you guys know this about me. And it says a whole lot about me, right? Like I don't need a whole lot of in and out, yin and yang. You know, I'm not trying to do 10 things. I'm trying to do one thing and really get it. Okay. And what I found for myself is that I can't learn from but so many folks. I can't implement but so many things. I'm not looking for someone to undo what I don't want to do. I'm looking to grow into a person that can implement the things that have been sown inside of me. I'm breaking this all the way down. So if you're that person that when you're coaching, you got to flip and you've got to flop, you know, you got to find another way to do something because you don't want to do it that way. You got to understand that's why you aren't where you want to be. But you got to value the seeds that are in your life, that are planted. You got to take care of them. You got to be consistent with your watering. You got to be consistent with the sunshine. You got to fertilize that seed. And one of the things you'll see over time, if you do that, okay, is that you will grow, right? You will grow as a result of it. But if you're that person, you're like, well, maybe I'll just get some more seed, you know, and you just go and get more seed that you can plant, okay, and start all over again. You can do that. But the deal is that you never actually get to have a harvest that way. And I think that that's the reason why so many people stay in the same place over and over again. It is the reason why many people never get to build their dream business. I've been with the same coach for 16 years, guys. 16. Okay, it's a marriage. You know, like we're married. We're married. We're married. Okay, and she's been with her coach same amount of time, 16 years. Okay, they're married folks. Okay, and we're all very successful. And so this notion, sometimes people haven't been around a lot of people who have had longevity in their relationships like that. You need to ask yourself, like, why don't you have relationships like that? Right? Is it because you're hypersensitive? Okay. Is it because you don't implement? Is it because, you know what I'm saying? Is it because you want somebody to tell you what you want them to tell you, and opposed to what you need to know to move forward? I'm just breaking this down. I told you it was going to be a tough live tonight. Ask yourself, why do you need new seed? And why do you need new seed frequently? Because I don't know why. Okay. Because I like the seed. I can see that there's a harvest, and I know that there's more. I'm just breaking this down. All right. So that's what I have for you guys today. Did you get value today? If you got value, I'd love to hear your comments here. I'm just going to quickly recap from 5 down. Okay. The topic today is 7 giant rules for building the business and life of your dreams. And number 5 was you establish and seal your own value. Number 6 is that, I explain what self-made is. Okay. And number 7 is value your seed, right? Be teachable, be coachable. What was one aha takeaway that you got as a result of being here? I am going to also post a link here. If you like this, then I know that you'll also love my upcoming conference. I'm doing a virtual conference coming up soon. I'm so excited. On August 15th, the doors open. You guys see the link there. On August 15th, the doors open. It's called the Giant Experience Virtual. And it's going to be one of my most incredible online events. 25 hours, you get to watch the conference training from my event that I hosted last year. And then you come online with me from the 22nd to the 28th for 90 minutes each and every day so that I can support you. And I will tell you, I've never done anything like this to support you with packaging, pricing, positioning, and finding value. In finding buyers, people who are investors in what you do. Okay. So I know it's going to be amazing, right? Nikita, I'm so excited. Okay. So let me pull some of these comments that you guys had. There's so many. Okay. Okay. Let me see here. Michelle says, oh, right. Finger snap. Inangi says, validations for parking lots. Audra, thank you. Dang, helped us today. Michelle writes, I doubt that the work will get done. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, Mia. Michelle says, so true. Stop surveying others. Michelle says, this is so good. And the mirror is in my face, right? The mirror is in front of my face. And then Brenton says, I have everything necessary to start, but I keep making excuses to start. Now COVID is the excuse. It's a home care business. Got my state license back in December. Come on, Brenton. Okay. Come on, Miss Mia. Hello. I can't stand because I keep having to keep it moving. CJ, you're moving around, right? Coach, you got me crying, Michelle writes. Tony says, this is awesome. When you change your own life, you can change the lives of others. Shayla says, yes. And 2,000. Michelle says, 500. Brenton says, 5,000 and 7,000. Shayna says, 4K. It goes on and on. Hey, Melody, good to see you. T says, I need to practice setting my boundaries. Absolutely. Tony says, it took me a long time to understand the importance of boundaries, but you got it, right? And Michelle says, yep. Come on, Mia, I need to do that. I'll take care of everyone else except myself. And Nikita writes, build your business for yourself first. Absolutely. Andrea says, be around people who make you stand in your tippy toes to reach them. And Nikita, thank you for doing that. Shayla, not quiet. You just stepping on my toes. All right. I hope you feel better now. Brenton, it's so good and valuable. I'm all in listening. Michelle says, I'm about to shout now. Go on, Michelle. I think I heard you. Melody says, there is a calling distinct to your path and your pain, and that is exactly what you do, and you're brilliant at it. Tony, love this. You don't have to fake being a success. Be yourself. Absolutely. Andrea says, be you. Nikita says, you are enough. Thank you for this. I saw your anointing from the beginning. Such a blessing to all of us. Awesome. Michelle, thank you. I appreciate that. Michelle says, yes, he did orchestrate your path. Come on, Mia. It's a blessing to be self-made, Nikita writes. How clear does our vision have to be to begin walking in it? I think that it wasn't like Shannon, that I knew exactly what the mom strategist was going to do. Like I didn't exactly know, but I knew that I had enough evidence in my life where I would give moms advice and it would change their lives. Like they would come back and say, I did what you said. And it really worked. So a lot of times we have evidence in our life that what we're doing is working. So it wasn't like I knew all of what I was going to be doing and what I'm doing today. But I think that what happens is that when you face that fear and you keep walking in the direction where you want to be, you get to live with a new gift, right? When you face your fears. And then somebody writes on Facebook, give yourself credit. And Erica says, when did you know it was time? Can you share your breakthrough moment? This is going to sound wacky, Erica, but this is my truth. I was in a mom's group, okay? And the mom's group, I was a mom that joined when I was 6 months pregnant with my first child. And so, mostly women join mom groups once they have kids. So I was like the mom that was there, was pregnant, but that didn't physically have a baby, with me. And I would listen to all these moms always talk about how they didn't have any time for themselves, et cetera, et cetera. Well, fast forward, in that mom's group, I eventually became their second chapter president. And I inherited about 30 some moms in this mom group. And I just started incorporating some of the self-care things I was doing for myself in motherhood with them in the club. And the chapter grew to about 160 moms and began to split off. That's when I had a sign that, like, I don't know what this is, but whatever it is, it's magnetic. Okay. But I didn't necessarily know it was a business. But I knew I had the ability to motivate women as it related to taking a stand for their lives, right, back then, all right? And then I kind of went from there. So someone said, you helped me refocus. Erica says, that's deep. This is so amazing. Michelle writes, thank you. I appreciate you writing that. And let's see. Yes, there's a replay for this. It's good. Nikita says the event's going to be amazing. If you've come to any of my events, you know that I always over deliver. You guys do not want to miss this event. It's $779 for over 35 hours of training, like literally. The women that came to my event last year closed over $250,000 within 3 weeks of attending. Why? Because of mindset, because of step-by-step formulas on what to do, how to package their knowledge, how to figure this out, get clarity around your gifts. All right, Fighter Girl says, I came in at the end, but I like that you have been with your coach for 16 years, longevity. Longevity does matter. It says a lot, that, my coaches and I have a great relationship. She's taught me a lot over the years. And we have a great relationship, a great respect for one another, peer to peer. And it's a relationship I value. Melody, so much value. There's a calling distinct to my pain. Awesome. Thank you. Isn't it? There's a calling, right? We all have a calling. Erica says her aha moment was, I have seeds. I'm missing my harvest. Right. Absolutely. Right. And likely it's because you haven't tended to the seed. Okay. So you're missing your harvest, not because your harvest doesn't blossom or won't harvest, because you haven't tended to the seed. And sometimes seeds need different things. In my case, my seed, I needed advisement. I needed counsel. I needed, coaching. I needed training. I needed modeling, right? That in order for me to attend to my seed, my gifts, my talents, and my skills became sharpened by hanging out with someone who had better skills than I. All right. So that's why I made investments in myself at the highest level. I'm not a low-level investor in myself. I'm my number one asset, and you are too. Tony says, excellent. Thank you so much. Shannon says, thank you. Nikita says, water those seeds and give them sunlight. Absolutely. And Erica says, yep, you are right. I'm super excited. And I'm so glad that you guys joined me today. I'm fired up. And I did post the link for the event. And Erica says, I don't have the fertilizer. Absolutely. So this will get you to look differently at what might be missing. If I can support you in any way, obviously, let me know. The links are posted here for the event coming up. Doors open on the 15th, August 15th. Okay. Doors open. And I can tell you your life won't be the same, but you have to make that decision, like for yourself, that you're ready to step into changing your life, that you want a real and true solution, that you're willing to invest in yourself at the highest level, that you're going to be authentic. Okay. That you're going to sow that seed, that you're going to have boundaries in your life, that you're not going to ask permission to grow. Okay. Millie Mill says that makes so much sense. Sometimes I find myself sowing so much, not realizing the seeds I've already sown are sufficient, but need watering. They just need water. They just need water. And that's the challenge when people keep grabbing different things, right? And instead of focusing on what you have and allowing us to grow, learn, just learn from, what isn't working, and grow your life. Okay. I love you guys. I'm so glad that you came here today. And if I can support you in any way, you can always inbox us. I'll see many of you at the event on the 22nd. Doors open on the 15th. You'll be able to start watching the training the sooner you buy your ticket, starting the 15th, the sooner you'll have access. So doors open with me on the 22nd. But on the 15th, you'll be able to have access to the training. Tijuana says, authentic, yes, uniquely you, your motto. It's just the only way. It's where all your power is, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me started, right? Because I could go all in on that, right? Imagine that. One of the most disrespectful things you could ever do to honor the calling on your life is be a version of someone else, right? Because you are so wonderful that there's only you. And the thing that makes you scarce is what makes you valuable. And to own that, to honor that is a treasure. And it's my goal to support women in understanding that. And I love that. So I love you guys. Have a great and amazing night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.